Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Today we're going to be going over Pacific Coast smoked oysters and smoked mussels from the Ekone Seafood Company, which are all a product of the USA. Thank you very much to Chris Welch for sending these to me. And yes, he's correct in his note. These are expensive, but they're a product of the USA. We know where they came from, not from polluted waters in some other country, and we're supporting American jobs. So to me, supporting an American company, American jobs, and receiving good quality, clean seafood, I'm willing to pay more. So let's try the 3-ounce can of Habanero hot smoked oysters that cost $13, which received 5 stars out of 71 ratings. Here's the short and simple list of ingredients. The whole can has 180 calories, 8 grams of total fat, 2.5 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 50 milligrams of cholesterol, 950 milligrams of sodium, 10 grams of carbohydrates, no fiber, no sugars, and 16 grams of protein. Now let's get our Ekone Habanero Hots out of the can, onto the plate, and into my old pie hole. Look at how big these oysters are. There's only 8 in the can. So we shanked a big old meaty bivalve like a prison snitch, and then into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. These are so meaty. They're sweet and briny, smoky. Said these are habanero hots. They have a really good flavor, but they're not really spicy. Try it. I was really surprised that Verlissa was going to try one. You like it? Yeah. Even Verlissa tried one, and she liked it. She's like Mikey. I really didn't think Verlissa was going to try any of these, but I was really surprised when she liked them, and she kept eating them. More than me. By the end of the video, all the habanero hots will be gone. Verlissa's trying another one. Tell us, the people, how you like it.
Good. I don't know.
I'm really surprised you even tried one. That's supposed to like it. That's good.
They're not like slimy oysters.
No, they're real meaty, aren't they?
I don't do like raw slimy oysters, but that's pretty good.
These are fantastic.
A little spicy.
Yeah, but not like habanero, not like you would think habanero oysters are. These habanero hots were fantastic. They were meaty, they were briny, they were smoky with just the right amount of heat and excellent flavor, which is why I'm giving them a 9 out of 10. Now let's try the Ekone lemon pepper smoked oysters that also cost $13 a can and received 5 stars out of 58 reviews. Here's the list of ingredients. The whole 3-ounce can has 190 calories, 6 grams of total fat, 1.5 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 30 milligrams of cholesterol, 810 milligrams of sodium, 17 grams of carbohydrates, no fiber, no sugars, and 16 grams of protein. Now let's get these out of the box, out of the can, and into my pie hole. If you hear the cat meowing in the background, that's Penny, and she rarely comes out, but when we open up tuna or any other kind of seafood, she is out and begging for it. And you can immediately smell the lemon. It smelled delicious already. So we shanked one with a fork, and then into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. These are so much bigger than the Chinese ones. Oh, that lemon in these is good. Makes them taste fresher, but the lemon isn't overpowering. Don't look at me like that. For some reason, Verlissa was giving me the stink eye, which tends to be happening more and more lately, so I had to call her out on it. I think Verlissa's enjoying these as much as I have.
They're pretty good.
You never did tell us what you liked, what you thought about the other ones.
They're good.
And this one.
I don't know.
So you can say that they're good.
Yeah. They're not slimy.
Say they're meaty.
They're meaty and they're not slimy.
Alright.
I think I like cooked oysters.
Yeah.
I don't like raw oysters. But these are good.
These are really good.
I don't know which one I like better though.
Well, at the rate she was shanking them and shoving them into her pie hole, I think she liked both of them equally. And I definitely concurred. The Ekone lemon pepper smoked oysters were also fantastic. The lemon added a nice aromatic freshness to the oysters, and the pepper was fresh with a nice bite to it, like you just ran it through a pepper mill. These were aromatic, savory, sweet, smoky, and briny, and I'm also giving the Ekone lemon pepper smoked oysters a 9 out of 10. Now let's try the original Ekone smoked oysters, which cost $13 a can and received 5 stars out of 292 reviews. Here's the very short, very simple list of ingredients. The whole 3-ounce can of oysters has 170 calories, 6 grams of total fat, 1.5 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 55 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,130 milligrams of sodium, 9 grams of carbohydrates, no fiber, no sugars, and 20 grams of protein. Now let's get the Ekone original flavored smoked oysters out of the box, out of the can, and into the old pie hole. Now let's get one of these shanked and into the pie hole before Penny attacks us. So into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. Now these are nice with just a plain smoked oyster flavor. These are sweet, smoky, and delicious. Oh, and meaty too. Tell you what, one can of these would be a good lunch or breakfast. These oysters are good by themselves, but any of these would go great on some crackers and cream cheese. They're a high protein snack or meal. That's a mouthful. Dang, Verlissa, hold it in. This is a family friendly show. Where's your manners? These are so freaking delicious. These definitely have more oyster flavor than the other ones. The other ones kind of hid the oyster flavor with the seasonings. What do you think about these?
I think they're good.
What?
They're good.
Okay. The habanero and lemon pepper smoked oysters were very, very good. But I seem to like the original smoked oysters better because you get more of that briny sweet flavor that's associated with delicious oysters, which is why I'm giving the original Ekone smoked oysters a 10 out of 10. Finally, let's try the Ekone smoked mussels, which out of 57 reviews received 5 stars out of 5 and cost $11.99 a can. Here's a simple list of ingredients. The whole can of smoked mussels has 110 calories, 4.5 grams of total fat, 1 gram of saturated fat, no trans fat, 25 milligrams of cholesterol, 440 milligrams of sodium, 3 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, no sugars, and 15 grams of protein. Now let's get our smoked mussels out of the box, out of the can, and onto the plate. Now these mussels look like the oysters from China. Much, much smaller than the oysters. So we shanked one, and then say it with me, people. Into the old pie hole, and down the gullet it goes. These aren't nearly as meaty as the oysters. You definitely get a really strong smoke flavor with these.
They're okay. I don't like them as much as I do the oysters.
These are still very good. It's almost a little bit too much smoke. They don't handle the smoke as much as good as the oysters. Yeah, these don't have a ton of flavor to them. Oh, one more. No, I said one more. Verlissa was trying to fill me up on the mussels so she could have the rest of the oysters. Like I said, these smoked mussels are still really, really good, but they're not nearly as good as the smoked oysters. Which is why I'm giving the Ekone smoked oysters a 7 out of 10. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.